What's up, party people? I hope you're having a dope day. So what do you think when I say Disneyland? Maybe you have some fond childhood memories of like hanging out with the princesses, going on rides, or eating some Mickey Mouse shaped food. Yep, whenever I hear those experiences, I go, wow. This is the perfect setting for a horror movie, especially a movie about prostitution, strongly implied pedophilia, and death. And if you thought those same things, lucky you, because that movie exists. Escape from Tomorrow is a 2013 movie that was completely shot in Disneyland and Disneyworld without the Walt Disney Company's permission. They literally walked in with a camera and filmed a whole movie, which is honestly pretty impressive. And it's a real bummer because the movie sucks. I just watched this movie and I couldn't believe what I saw, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. You know, it's like we're back in elementary school and it's sharing time. So come with me on this ride of a movie. I do need to give a warning for people about to watch this video. This movie is extremely black and white. I know. Some people can't handle that color palette. So I thought I'd give a warning. The movie starts off with the main character Jim getting fired by his boss.
What else is going on, Roger?
Sorry, old boy. I'm just a messenger. Do give my best to the family. Oh, and don't forget about soaring. My boys just won't stop talking about it. They say you actually feel while you're flying. Sounds lovely.
Man, can you imagine getting vacation recommendations from your boss that just fired you? Oh, hi, Timmy. Yes, I hate to do this, but I'm firing you. Yes, I know this is going to put you in a financial tailspin. Probably going to have to return that dog you just got for your daughter. Wife's probably going to leave you. Anyways, make sure to wear a poncho on Splash Mountain. Normally I'd feel bad for a guy that just got fired, but Jim's that rare exception because he's a terrible person. Oh, why do I have that opinion of him? Well, to start off, he's most likely a pedophile. I'm not even kidding, Jim spends over half of this movie following what looks to be pre-teen French girls.
What?
Why are we following those girls?
Girls? What girls?
Bonjour.
But I am getting slightly ahead of myself here. So Jim takes his family into Disney World, and when they get on the Winnie the Pooh ride, Jim tries to hook up with his wife.
Come on.
No, honey, no, honey, not that.
What are you worried about, honey? It's a ride.
I know a lot of people get horned up when they see Winnie the Pooh. Like, that's why he's banned in China.
No one's around. Come on.
No one's around? What about your kids?
No, stop.
Come on.
Tim.
You're such a downer. You're such a Debbie Downer.
No.
I'm just saying there's a reason why Disney doesn't take photos in Winnie the Pooh. So a lot of the horror in this movie comes from when Jim hallucinates, like when he goes on It's a Small World. And yes, I know that looks like normal footage from It's a Small World, but trust me, they made it scarier. So after Jim and his son failed to get on Buzz Lightyear, Jim decides to follow the teenagers around and watches them eat bananas with his son. Great father-son bonding activity. Jim then daydreams about hanging out with the French girls.
Oh my God. Wow.
Ah, get it? Because he's hitting on them. Gross. It gets so bad that Elliot, the son, starts to ask his dad, hey, why are we following these girls?
Why are we following those girls?
Girls? What girls?
Bonjour. Those girls.
Oh, well,
Yeah, that's pretty bad when your son, that's most likely closer to these girls' age than you are, is weirded out by what you're doing. That's not a good sign. The only good sign in this situation would be a stop sign. Also, Jim, stop taking up all the space in the cart. You are crushing your child. Elliot then admits that he has a crush on the two French girls and asks his father if his mom is hot.
Is mommy pretty?
your mother. Yeah, she's beautiful.
And I haven't really mentioned this yet, but the movie gives Elliot an Oedipus complex.
You want to go lie down with mommy? Yeah.
Don't, Elliot! Elliot! Get back here!
Which, I'm not saying it's weird for a child to love his mom. What I think is weird is that the movie gave him this character trait.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So don't worry, the Oedipus stuff will come back later. I know you were really worried about that. So Jim's response to his child asking if his mom is hot is this.
I mean, not in a classical sense, but more in a Emily Dickinson kind of bookish Tina Fey kind of thing. Yeah, but she's beautiful, yeah.
Emily Dickinson? You mean Haley Steinfeld? Dude, you would be lucky. Also, what's up with this Tina Fey slander? She's a freaking bad D. So Jim continues to force his child to stalk these preteens to Space Mountain, but Elliot, he doesn't want to go to Space Mountain.
Oh,
What?
Space Mountain.
What's the matter?
There's a big kids ride.
You're a big kid, aren't you?
Dude, I'm sorry, this kid sucks. The reason why Jim wants to go on Space Mountain? Bad. Very, very, very bad. But if I'm a kid at that age, I'm not asking any questions. I want to go on Space Mountain. So Jim makes his son go on the roller coaster, and it doesn't end well. There wasn't another trash can for your son to puke in, like maybe one inside the ride? Or did Jim just want to keep following those girls, so he just picked up his son and ran? So Elliot snitches on his dad for taking him on Space Mountain.
Dad made me go on Space Mountain.
I didn't make him go.
You took him on Space Mountain?
Frickin' narc. So Jim's wife Emily takes Elliot back to the hotel because he's sick, and then Jim takes the daughter Sarah around the park, where Jim loses her and she ends up scraping her knee and needs to go see a Disney nurse, where Jim then starts to check out the nurse.
There you go. Good as new.
Dude, your kid is right there. The nurse then brings up this flu-like virus that's going around the park called cat flu, and it might sound a little familiar.
Everyone's so worried about cat flu now. Children are most at risk, so we have to be extra careful. Mommies and daddies, too.
Yeah, this definitely takes place in Walt Disney World because I don't see anyone wearing a mask. So while watching Sarah play around, Jim gets hypnotized by a random woman and ends up sleeping with her. Looks like Jim wanted a hall pass, but he ended up getting a fast pass. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be here all week. So I am a bit worried of showing footage from the scene because YouTube doesn't really like Birds and the Bees content, but I have to single out some dialogue here because it's something. Fuck me, feel my vagina. Hysterectomy. I think you found my hidden Mickey. What? So this woman clearly went on Winnie the Pooh before banging Jim. The woman that has an affair with Jim then explains to him how all the Disney World princesses are actually high-end escorts.
You know the princesses? They're high-priced courtesans.
What?
Rich Asian businessmen, they'll pay thousands for one in costume.
Man, if you thought that stuff was bad, you should see what happens at the Mickey Mouse house. Did you seriously have an affair with your kid outside the door? Like, I hope that kid's not a snitch like Elliot.
Made me go on Space Mountain.
Jim then goes to the pool with the rest of his family, and guess who's there for Jim to oddle? I was hoping this guy would have some post-nut clarity, but nope. Then they start to put in inspirational music as Jim approaches the girls. So let's take out that inspirational music and put this in. Get it? Because Jim's a predator. So Jim's wife Emily calls Jim out for not paying attention to their son in the pool, and Jim gets so upset that he wasn't able to talk to these teenage girls, he starts to cry.
Are you crying?
No.
Jim gets so upset that he wasn't able to talk to these girls, he tries to commit suicide.
What are you doing? I'm fine. What are you doing? I was just playing. What's going on?
I don't even know what to say about that. Like, this guy's like 45. So the family goes to Epcot and Jim makes a stunning realization of what the Epcot ball looks like.
Wow. It's a giant testicle.
would say it looks more like a golf ball, but if your balls look like a golf ball, should probably get that checked up. So after the family gets some photos with the princesses, a bunch of rich Asian men come over and start groping the princesses.
The one in costume.
I'm not going to show you all the groping that's going on because I cannot imagine you two being chill with that, but yeah, all the Disney princesses are prostitutes. Good for them. Later that night, Jim and Emily get into a fight.
I look like Emily Dickinson.
I like Emily Dickinson.
God.
Yeah, Emily Dickinson is a baddie. Emily then brings up how Jim's been following those preteens all day.
They're a little like young Jim. Even for you, don't you think?
So that means he's definitely had an affair with a younger woman, and I don't know where to go from there. Things escalate so much that the wife Emily slaps the daughter Sarah. Which leads to one of these Disney employees not knowing what to do after witnessing all that.
It's okay. She doesn't usually act like that.
That's the look of someone being like, wow, I just witnessed some child abuse. So after all that, Jim decides to take his daughter on to Soarin', and we see why his boss recommended it because there's a naked woman on it. Also remember that the boss said his kid loved this ride.
My boys just won't stop talking about it.
And I can probably figure out why. So the girls get off Soarin' the same time as Jim does, and one of them actually asks Jim to come and join them.
Come with us.
You speak English.
Please, come.
And in one of the biggest shocks of the whole movie, Jim says no.
No.
So after Jim says no, the teenager spits in his face. Thanks for that slow-mo. I really felt like I was on Splash Mountain there. Jim realizes that he lost his kid again, and then a bunch of security guards come over and tase him in the balls.
What are you doing?
Man, and I thought TSA was bad. So right after Jim gets tased, we get a 10-second intermission for a 90-minute movie. I'm sorry, that is so lazy. Like, clearly they're just trying to pad the runtime. Like, only a hack would do something like that. So Jim gets trapped in an underground lair where scientists try to understand Jim's imagination.
You're inside my head.
Not in your head, Jim. In your imagination.
You've got quite an imagination. Just like old WD himself.
I mean, is his imagination that creative? He's really only had one thing on the mind. So the scientist leaves and Jim escapes by squirting Geosporin everywhere, and they make it look so graphic, I don't think I can show the whole thing. Jim then decapitates the scientist.
Jim?
Holy crap. You're a robot.
I was trying to help you.
This needs to be pointed out. Jim was ready to kill that guy. Like, just because he was a robot doesn't mean he gets a free pass. Like, the intent was there. Jim escapes and realizes that his daughter is with the woman that he slept with earlier, and so he goes back to her hotel, but not before Jim fights a disabled person. Jim really is the best. So in a plot twist, the woman that Jim slept with is actually a witch who kidnapped Jim's daughter to play pretend and drink apple cider.
I'm still thirsty.
Did she give you something?
Relax, it's just sparkling apple juice here.
It's just pretend.
And it turns out that this woman used to be a princess at the park, but she got fired after she accidentally killed a kid by breaking her spine.
No, princesses must never cry. Oh, that's a little bit.
What are you doing to my daughter?
Wow, that's pretty dark. Sarah then breaks the diamond that's hypnotizing Jim, and then the father-daughter just leave.
Your balloon.
You don't want to forget it.
Look, Daddy.
Goodbye. Jim.
So we think everything's going good now. Jim and his daughter are back at the hotel. Everything's good until Jim starts having intense number 2. Jim then realizes he got cat flu from the teenager spitting in his face.
Everyone's so worried about cat flu now. You could be a host and not even know it.
Cat flu.
This wakes up Elliot, and after his father begs him to get help, Elliot does this.
I need help. Help. Elliot.
I guess Elliot really didn't like his father-son bonding time. So after Elliot lets his father die, he goes back to bed with his mom. I told you that Oedipus thing would come back later. The next morning, the wife finds Jim dead with cat eyes. I mean, to be honest, he looks like the Cheshire Cat. So Disney security takes Jim's body as the family continues to grieve. But there's one final twist, as this bellhop here tries his best to make it look like he's working. One new visitor drives up, and you better hold on to your socks here.
Checking in or?
That we are.
Jim's alive with a new family. I don't know. What? And the teenagers were fairies the whole time. What? And that's where it ends. Cool. I've honestly looked up so many different places to try and make sense of this ending, and I can't figure it out. Like, I thought maybe Jim's Peter Pan, and now he gets to be a kid forever, but that didn't make much sense. So I don't know. I don't even know what I just watched. I even waited till the end of the credits to see if like Jim joins the MCU, and no luck. So yeah, that was Escape from Tomorrow. It sucked. Really cool idea filming at the Disney parks. Acting actually wasn't too bad. Story, all over the place. Which is a bummer because it is a cool idea, just terrible execution. Anyways, that's it for this video, and as always, if you like what you see, you know what to do. Do all those YouTube-y things, and I will catch you on the flippity flop.